Well, it has been yet another busy night for our fact checker, Daniel Dale, and we're bringing him back again. Daniel, President Trump talked about his push to get members of NATO to pay more to support the alliance. Let's listen to that.
Between the sanctions, between all of what I've done with NATO, I've got the NATO countries to put up an extra $130 billion, going to $420 billion a year. That's to guard against Russia. I sold, while he was selling pillows and sheets, I sold tank busters to Ukraine. There has been nobody tougher on Russia than Donald Trump.
Daniel, did any of that ring true?
There's a lot wrong there, Jake. I'm going to start with the end, the selling pillows and sheets. That was a vague reference to Trump's usual claim that the Obama administration merely sent Ukraine pillows and sheets in military aid. Now, that's not true. It is true that Obama declined to authorize lethal military aid, weapons to Ukraine, but it sent things like drones, armored Humvees, counter-mortar radars, night vision supplies, medical devices. So no, it was not just pillows and sheets. Now, on these figures for NATO, yes, NATO and its leaders do give Trump credit for pressuring members into an increase in spending, but it is not as much as Trump claims. So that $130 billion is not $130 billion a year. It's $130 billion total between 2016 and the end of 2020. Now, that $400 billion figure, he said $420 billion, was an estimated total increase as of 2024. So between 2016 and 2024, not per year. And NATO told me in an August email that that estimate is now in doubt because of COVID-related budget challenges. So it's very much uncertain, Jake.
So that's an example of Trump actually having good facts on his side to share, but instead he just makes stuff up.
Yeah, it's like the truth is never good enough.
I know, just tell the truth on this one. Those are actually good things to say. Let's listen to an exchange on immigration from earlier tonight. Former Vice President Biden talking about the Trump administration's border policy, detaining and separating families.
These 500 plus kids came with parents. They separated them at the border to make it a disincentive to come to begin with. They tough, we're really strong. And guess what? They cannot, it's not coyotes taking them over, their parents were with them. They got separated from their parents. And it makes us a laughing stock and violates every notion of who we are as a nation.
Let me ask you a follow-up question.
Kristen, they did it, we changed the policy.
Your response
they
to
did
that?
It, we changed.
Did not
They built the cages.
They,
who built the cages, Joe?
I mean, this is a policy that the Trump administration trotted out. Jeff Sessions, the Attorney General at the time, introduced the official family separation policy, but there you have President Trump trying to blame the Obama administration.
Yeah, so Trump has claimed for a long time, I've been fact-checking this for years, that he inherited the separation policy from Obama. Now, he did it tonight a bit more vaguely than in previous occasions, but he said they did it, we changed it, and that's at least highly misleading. Now, separations did occur, Jake, under Obama, but occasionally. Trump made them, as you said, routine, deliberately. So under Obama, as CNN's Priscilla Alvarez has explained, separation occurred in exceptional cases. For example, where the parent was being criminally prosecuted for carrying drugs across the border, or other serious crimes aside from illegal crossing, or cases where human trafficking was suspected, or cases where the authorities couldn't confirm the connection between the child and the adult. So the separations happened, but not as a result of a blanket policy. As you said, Trump imposed a policy of routinely criminally prosecuting all suspected illegal border crossers for the crime of illegal entry, which forced separation from the children. So it was not just in cases of serious suspected crime, suspected trafficking, it's just no comparison. Now I have to say, as for the cages, there is some truth to what Trump said. A border processing center with chain link fencing, you can call them cages, was set up during the Obama administration in 2014 in the wake of an unaccompanied minor crisis. They were getting huge numbers of children crossing the border. They didn't feel they were equipped to handle the situation. So yes, those cages were built, at least some of them, under Obama. But again, that does not mean the two administrations, Jake, had the same policy.
That's right. I mean, if people are going to be outraged by kids in cages, it's fair to criticize the Obama administration because there were kids in cages. But the difference is these were kids who came across the border caravans without their parents. Right. And I'm not justifying putting them in cages, but that's different than having a policy in which you are saying we're going to separate kids from their parents and still not being able to find the parents of 500 of these kids.
Precisely, that's exactly correct. So Trump is seizing on the images of cages under Obama, which is frankly a helpful image to him, and it's fair for him to point that out. But as you said, this is just absolutely apples and oranges in terms of separation policy.
All right, Daniel Dale, thanks so much. And I have to say, Abby, I think the president had an opportunity to sound more empathetic. And instead, what he decided to do was just chum the waters and make it like, well, you did it too, you did it too. And, I got texts from friends saying, is that true? Did the Obama people do it too? Because, they're not up on all these policy details like we are. But it's just, as Daniel says, apples and oranges.
Yeah.